What is normal? Today we're exposing 5 seemingly normal habits that are silently destroying your wealth. These aren't obvious money mistakes like gambling or overspending. These are socially acceptable behaviors that society considers completely par for the course. Hello, my name is Rohit Das, and this channel is all about finding ways to get you to your most prepared self for life, finances, and career. Let's dive in. Our first silent wealth killer is the lifestyle inflation trap, or also known as lifestyle creep. According to Forbes, the phenomenon quietly erodes your finances as your income grows. You might be thinking, but I got a raise. Here's the problem. When people receive a raise, we increase our spending equivalently or sometimes even disproportionately. Think about it. The bigger house, the nicer car, more frequent dining out, these aren't just upgrades, they're wealth destroyers. Each upgrade comes with hidden costs, higher maintenance, insurance, and ongoing expenses that compound over time. Let's put it in perspective. Meet Sarah, who got a $15,000 raise last year. Instead of saving the additional income, she immediately upgraded to a 2-bedroom apartment, adding $700 to her monthly expenses. Then came the new car lease, which she got by trading in a vehicle that was almost at the end of its financing period because she deserved it, adding another $300 to her monthly expense. And then she felt deserving to get membership at the fancier gym and dine out with more friends, costing her over $250 every month. And suddenly that $15,000 raise turned into $0 of savings. Here's what many of us don't realize. Lifestyle inflation compounds just like interest, but in reverse. Think about it slightly longer term. Every $100 monthly increase in your lifestyle doesn't just cost you $1,200 per year. If you instead invested that at a 7% return, it could be worth over $30,000 in 15 years. Our second wealth killer is the auto-renewal curse. CNET calls it the subscription creep. Their 2024 survey found that the average American spends $91 monthly on subscription services, adding to over $1,000 annually. But here's the less discussed part. 67% of people saw their subscription prices increase in the past year, and 24% admit they're overpaying but continue to do that anyway. That's not all. 48% of people have actually forgotten about active subscriptions that they're still paying for. When I started reviewing my own auto renewals, I discovered that I was paying for 3 different cloud storage services, out of which I was primarily using only one. And by consolidating them, I was able to save over $300 every year. You may think that is small money, but it all adds up. Our third wealth killer might surprise you. It's brand loyalty. According to the Harvard Business Review, it costs companies up to 25 times more to recruit a new customer than to keep an existing one. And that's why brands like loyal customers, even if sometimes they have to give away some candies in the form of points or rewards. Loyal customers are valuable because they spend considerably more on average on brands they're loyal to. A study by Annex Cloud shows that brand loyal customers spend an average of 33% more per year than non-loyal customers. Let's put that in perspective. If you spend $10,000 annually on household items, brand loyalty could be costing you $2,500 every year. The psychology behind this is fascinating. Companies spend billions creating what marketers call as brand affinity, making you feel emotionally connected to their products. But here's the truth. The emotional connection is costing you real money. By the way, want to know how much those $2,500 could turn into if you invested yearly for an average return of 7% per year for 15 years? Close to $63,000. Our fourth wealth killer is the I'll start later syndrome, or better known as procrastination. According to USA Facts, the median household between the ages of 30 and 34 had saved up just about $4,700 in a dedicated retirement account. But here's why this is devastating: because of the way money compounds over time. Delaying retirement savings by just 5 years, especially in your early or even mid-working life, can reduce your overall retirement nest egg substantially. Let me show you how this works out. Consider 2 friends, Emma and James. Both just turned 25. Emma starts investing $400 monthly today. James decides to wait 5 years or till the age of 30 before starting. By age 65, assuming a 7% annual return, Emma will have saved $1,050,000, whereas James will have accumulated just over $720,000. That 5-year delay cost James $330,000 in potential wealth at retirement. That is why I call procrastination the silent wealth killer. You never feel the pain today, but your future self pays a massive price. Many say they'll start when they make more money, but here's the harsh truth. The perfect time to start saving is today. Our final wealth killer is perhaps also the most insidious: social media-induced spending. Research shows that 51% of millennials and Gen Z are more likely to make impulse purchases online, and 68% of those buyers regret their decisions. The rise of social media has created what I think can be called as curated financial pressure. You're not just keeping up with your neighbors anymore, you're trying to keep up with the carefully filtered and curated versions of everyone's lives. The constant exposure to lifestyle content triggers what psychologists call social comparison anxiety, and it can take a heavy toll on your financial and mental well-being. These 5 items that we just discussed alone could cost you hundreds of thousands of dollars in potential wealth lost over your working life. Now, imagine if you started including everything that was impacting your wealth creation potential. It's remarkable how all of this hides from us in plain sight. The good news is that we now understand these key wealth killers, so let's talk about specific actions you can take to break free from them. First, we've got to commit to combat lifestyle inflation. Don't just save what's left after spending, spend what's left after saving. Here's how. Find a way to segregate spending. One part for essential items, the other for non-essential or discretionary. Some people take it a step further by creating 2 separate bank accounts. You allocate money each month right after your paycheck arrives and go from there. Yes, it may require a trip to the bank and may almost sound like an overkill, but it is not. Next, automate your savings to capture 50% or more of every raise or bonus before lifestyle creep sets in. Then use the 30-day rule for any major lifestyle upgrade. What does that mean? Wait for 30 days before making that big decision on the purchase. You will be surprised how you feel less compelled and less excited to make that purchase that you so very wanted at the start of the 30-day period. After you do all of this, track your spending for the next 90 days to identify your own lifestyle creep. You'll more likely than not be shocked at what you find. It is easy to spend your hard-earned money, but you owe it to yourself to make the best use of it. Now that you have a handle on controlling your lifestyle inflation, let's deal with managing those subscriptions. Your action plan should absolutely include setting a quarterly subscription audit date in your calendar. Use apps like Bobby or Rocket Money to track your subscriptions. Implement the one-in, one-out rule. For every new subscription, cancel an existing one. Share subscriptions with family members where possible. Finally, calculate the annual cost of each subscription to understand its true impact. Next, break the brand loyalty chain through smart brand switching. Start with your top 5 monthly purchases. Make a note of how much you spend on it each month. Now, wherever available, try an equivalent store or generic brand that costs lesser for the next month. How much did you save? Don't spend that money. Route it to a savings or an investment account now. If you're indeed serious about enhancing your financial future, this next one will seem like a lot of work, but it's totally worth it. We're going to keep this super practical. You're going to create a list of 3 action items to implement. The first one must be completed today or no later than 24 hours from the moment you watch this video. That action item can be a small 10-minute task like transferring $10 to a savings account or an investment account. Don't have that? No problem. Take a jar and put $10 in it right away, and every day you walk by it, from now onwards, add $1 or any pocket change to it. The next task must be completed over the next 7 calendar days and could be as simple as reviewing all your subscriptions over a weekend and knowing exactly how much you spend on them every month. The final item will be a larger action that you will complete no later than 30 days from now, and that could include going to the bank and opening a separate spending account or an investment account if you don't have one already. Whatever you do, start now. Finally, create your own social media spending firewall. Do two things to start with. Never shop from your primary device like your cell phone, which is at hand almost all the time, and implement a simple 24-hour rule where you wait to make any purchase inspired by social media. And if you're feeling truly committed to this exercise, do this third thing. Redirect your shopping spend, whatever you were willing to spend on your social media induced purchase, to a savings or an investment account. Even if it is $10, again, it adds up. I did this myself as an experiment for 6 months and accumulated an additional $2,100 in my investment account at the end of it. Money that would have been spent on items I likely wouldn't even remember today. That $2,100 saved every year at 7% return over 15 years will be worth, you know how much. Let me know in the comments below. These 5 normal behaviors might seem harmless, but they're silently destroying your financial future. The good news: awareness is the first step to change. Start by tackling one wealth killer at a time. Your future self will thank you. If you found this episode interesting, give it a like and share it with someone who needs to hear this. Don't forget to subscribe for more practical financial advice. See you on the next one.